Welcome everyone to another episode of So Bad It's Good. But in today's episode, it's the movie's not really that bad. It's just okay. It's average. So it doesn't really qualify for this, but it's the 1 year anniversary of War. So we thought we'll just talk about War, even though it doesn't really qualify for the series. We are all we are all over the place with the series. We didn't really think this through when we named the series, and now we're struggling. We don't make any sense as people. But moving on. So today we'll be talking about War. So Jay, what are your thoughts of this movie War?
I just want to clear this thing right away that it's like
Yeah.
a small story. I won't take much of viewers' time, but small story, couple of
Mhm.
minutes. Last year,
Mhm.
two of the biggest action movies were supposed to be Saho and War, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
I was much more excited for Saho than War. But after
Everyone
see-
was, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. At that point of time, I had literally negative expectation it was possible. But I was really excited to see Hrithik after a long time in that avatar, man. And I must say that it was worth it just for Hrithik Roshan alone. Dude,
Mhm.
that guy, oh my god.
I mean, I really like what they did with this character in this one. The sort of like they had him play his age basically. They had him play an older character, and he was like a veteran, and that really suited his character. Like he had certain gray shades to his character, which I thought really lined up well. See, overall, this film isn't great. It's
Yeah,
not great.
yeah,
I wouldn't even call it good. Like I
yeah,
think it's okay. It's all
yeah.
right. And the movie starts off really promisingly. Like you have
True,
this
true.
one sort of the intro shot of Hrithik Roshan, and he's like sort of as a sniper, and he's like on
Yeah,
top of a roof, and you have a certain twist that takes place in the end of that intro scene where he's actually shooting an Indian official instead of the actual target, and
yeah,
the entire like he changes the entire ball game. I
yeah.
guess you could say. But that was a very interesting sort of like introduction to the story. And then they introduced to Tiger Shroff's character. That was also a pretty good action scene. Like,
Hmm.
granted, like there are a few stuff which goes a little bit weird. Like no one
Yeah.
uses guns even when Tiger Shroff is down,
Of
and
course, yeah.
like and he keeps doing this spinning kicks, even though it's
Yeah,
like a covert mission. Like he just keeps spinning and kicking everyone around. Like, but I
yeah.
think that sort of that single shot take of that fight
True.
scene, it
Yeah,
was done really well. Like all of those actors had to like choreograph their fight scenes, and that was done really well. And that was actually one of the smaller action scenes in the film, but
true.
I would say that was probably the best action scene in the entire film, because after that action scene, the
Yeah.
movie keeps going bigger and bigger, and the action scenes keep getting worse and worse, like to the point where you're like, what is this? Like, what happened to the groundedness of the first like
E-
10 minutes?
exactly. See, that's the thing. Like, our industry still thinks that to make a great action set piece, you have to increase the budget or increase the scale of it. No, that's not the thing. If you look at,
Yeah.
I want to take reference of a 2009 movie, Dawn. It was 2009 or 2011 when Dawn was
2000,
released.
2011, 2011.
11. Okay.
I think
See,
it was 11, yeah.
yeah. Take example of Dawn 2. That had such a good action set pieces. It
Mhm.
was like, and even have you seen Rocky Handsome? John Abrams, Rocky Handsome.
Yeah. Even Rocky Handsome had some amazing action
Bro,
scenes.
that was like I was literally okay. This is the raw action piece
Yeah.
which we needed, and John Abrams suited perfectly in it. And even if you talk about Vidya Jamal's Commando, that
Oh,
had-
Commando's in a whole different level.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. Yeah. So like seeing like like as I said, I literally have no expectation from this movie, but yeah, it's pretty good. As you said, it's not like great or something. It's like a decent watch, a decent
See,
festival watch. should I say.
I describe this movie like it's almost like it gives me Mission Impossible 2 vibes. Like
Okay.
if you look at Mission Impossible 2, that was the one movie which had a lot of like Tom Cruise spinning kicks, Tom Cruise
Yeah.
slow motion shots, because that was directed by John Woo. That was
Yeah.
And you had this slow motion explosions and action scenes that just went on too far. And
Yeah.
this movie reminded me a lot of that. Where they were not quite sure of the tone of the film. Like they were like, we want the action to be grounded, but we
Yeah.
still want to have this, completely out of place elements like
True.
explosions. Like there's a scene where Hrithik Roshan's like, he sort of parachutes down to a plane, which looks like a thumbs up ad.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he
Or
gets
Mountain
in.
Dew.
Dude, there's a shot in that where he's wearing his visor, right? And he just throws his visor, and the visor like rotates in slow motion, and it shows a reflection to Hrithik Roshan on who the intruders are on that side. So that Hrithik
Yeah.
Roshan knows, okay, these are guys. He doesn't like normally use it like, okay, let me just see who's it. He just throws
Yeah.
it, and in that split second, he can
Yeah.
see, oh, these are the guys behind me. Okay, now I'm done. Even the sort of the twists that take place in this film, it
Yeah.
kind of gave me those vibes of that early 2000 Hollywood vibe. Like,
Yeah.
that the whole like plastic surgery thing,
True.
the whole twist
That
that
was
they do,
so
alien.
cliche, man.
I
I was
mean,
like, yeah. I was literally, yeah,
I, I'm like they anyway planned to do this twist, right? It was not a
Yeah.
twist that they decided on the day of shooting. I hope not.
Yeah.
I they probably decided on this twist, and I'm
Yeah.
like they could have casted someone who kind of had Tiger Shroff's physique, so that it
Yeah.
kind of felt a bit more believable when he
Yeah.
is, when he comes, the rogue agent comes as Tiger Shroff,
Yeah.
in the basically after Tiger Shroff's character actually dies, but
Yeah.
and the ending of the movie is basically Tiger Shroff ripping his shirt off in a very I'm not quite sure where it takes place in the end, but it's this cold,
Play.
snowy area, and
Yeah.
it must it must be so cold. And at least
You
Hrithik
know,
Roshan has the
like
decency not to take his shirt off.
and that is why I'm so disappointed when I saw that shot of Tiger Shroff ripping his shirt off. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, great. Now they have not shown Hrithik Roshan doing the same thing in the movie. They have saved it for the movie. I was like so excited to see like Hrithik Roshan. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this as well. But yeah, we are talking about Hrithik Roshan here. I can, I just want to say one thing. I was watching this movie in a single theater. So there was when Hrithik Roshan entrance happened, from helicopter.
Yeah, that was badass. That was so badass.
An actual 40-year-old uncle said, यार ये सही दिखता है क्यों अच्छा ही दिखता है and I was like damn uncle
Uncle approves of Hrithik Roshan's look.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I just want to get back to the scene. Like, so I'm just saying, out of all the things they could rip off from Race 3, which thankfully they didn't, they had to rip off the last Salman Khan Bobby Deol fight. Like, they just changed it from desert to snow. But I'm just telling you, like, the tone of this movie is so over the place. Like, it starts off with this very grounded action scene, and it ends off like a James Bond, Pierce Brosnan era fight scene, like in the snow and everything. Like, I think it was Die Another Day, which had an exactly same action scene, like in the snow and everything. And but it's all right. It's all right. Let's talk about something else. Like, I want to talk about the performances. Hrithik Roshan, we already talked about. It's an awesome performance. Tiger Shroff, I think him as a villain kind of works. I think him as a villain, he sort of I know he's not the best actor like in Bollywood or even in the country, but I think as a villain he kind of works. And I feel like that. His Tiger Shroff's problem is that I think he still has not found that one director who can use his potential properly.
True.
Like, I feel like even in War, the scenes which are really cringeworthy are probably the scenes when he and Hrithik Roshan, when they sort of first meet, and he's the sincere, blue-eyed, he's like sincere, innocent like agent who's like, oh, I'm so emotional, that kind of vibe he gives, and that's the most cringiest stuff in the movie. But when he sort of transitions into this villain, or even to this agent who's going after Hrithik Roshan, that's where he actually shines. So I think if he finds the right director who can like use his physique and use his sincerity to a role, because he's a very sincere actor. Like, the amount of effort he has put into those action scenes, like I even said, the single shot action scene, like he actually really went for that, like completely. He was like all on board for that. So I feel like he is someone who has a lot of potential, and I know right now, it's almost a sin to talk good about people who are attached from film families. But I will say this: Tiger Shroff, if he finds the right director, he can actually become a good. He can become a star that's appreciated by everyone, not just by a section of the audience.
True. And I have actually the same opinion for like Tiger Shroff as just you said, na? Because the thing is, like, everyone should, like, in today's time when there are so many great actors like Rajkumar Rao, there is like all-time classic like Pankaj Tripathi, Nawazuddin Siddiqui, Manoj Vajpayee, and there's so many great actors. You won't be able to compete with them. So in today's time, everyone should know their pros and cons, their strength and weakness, and they should position themselves in the mind of the audience as that only. See, Tiger
Yeah.
Shroff has kind of established himself as a pretty great action dancer at a very
Hmm.
young age. As if you look at
True,
the like
true, true.
he's done it at a very young age. I still remember
Hmm.
seeing Hero Panti first day first show. I don't know why I did that, but
Hmm.
just because of the stunt, and I was like, bro, he is phenomenal. I've never seen anyone from our industry do stunt like this.
See, I want him to do a film
Yeah,
where the action is completely grounded. Like
yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't have this sort of superficial elements. Like I know, like I think his trademark thing is this jumping kick that he does
yeah,
all the
yeah,
time, like the
yeah,
spinning kick. I
yeah.
want to see him do a movie where he doesn't do that. Where
True.
he,
Yeah,
does action, a very grounded type of action,
yeah,
and he has a very grounded story. I
yeah,
think I
yeah, yeah.
really want to see what he could do in something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
something like a Taken, like I'm not saying like a Taken,
Ah,
but
yeah, that would
something
be really great.
really
Yeah,
grounded. I
yeah,
really want him to see something where he actually gets to, sort of exercise his acting chops. Anyway, and another sort of actor who plays a small but significant part is Vani Kapoor, and I thought
yeah,
many people criticized her role, like her sort
yeah.
of role in this film, saying that it's a very small role. It doesn't do much, but I think even though the role is small, it's a meaningful character in the plot.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
the entire plot kind of revolves around her,
revolves. Yeah,
Ritwik actions and
it
everything, and
it
I didn't
brings
really
the
mind that. I thought
necessary emotional quotient
true,
which the movie needed at that particular time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think Siddharth Anand is known for this, like to make this very melodramatic backstories. He
yeah,
did this in Bang Bang also, but I
yeah,
think in this one it kind of worked because I thought it all came together pretty well. His
yeah,
revenge, his idea for revenge, and everything. And again, Siddharth Anand, another one of his, this thing, another one of his like things in his movies, his narrative style.
yeah.
I guess you can say like is
Yeah.
having a revenge plot. So Siddharth Anand, if you do one more film, please don't do a revenge story that you release
Arey,
on Gandhi
they
Jayanti.
are, bro. Siddharth Anand
Again,
is collaborating with Shah Rukh Khan and John Abraham. Next,
for a revenge
like,
story. Again.
definitely, these are like two of the
And
biggest actors.
again, he's going to release it on Gandhi
So,
Jayanti.
yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
don't know. It's so
yeah,
conflicting. Like,
yeah, non-violence with violence. That's great, man. Yeah, yeah,
he directed Taralampam, if I'm remembering correctly, right? And that one didn't have much violence. So, good on him. But that probably didn't release on Gandhi Jayanti.
that's why I didn't
So I
plan
mean,
to.
something is wrong over there. But I think he's like in a serious note. I think he's a talented filmmaker. I kind
Yeah,
of like the fact that he goes out there and he tries to do these kind of plots. But
true.
his writing clearly needs work. Like
Exactly.
having this whole plastic surgery twist and all.
Yeah,
I'm like it doesn't really like in the film you can kind of say that okay it's go
yeah,
okay they did that okay it's fine at least it's entertaining. But I really hope in the future he really
yeah,
sort of focuses a little bit more on the writing and actually deliver a good story without relying on these cliche kind of twists.
yeah. Yeah, about that I want to say, like there are some directors who are very good at directing but not good at
Hmm.
writing stories. And
Hmm.
I think it's high time for him to give the story writing partner to someone more qualified than him.
Jay, it's enough. It's enough. Jay, enough. I will write the next one. Okay, don't worry. Like
I will.
you said it so
Achha.
kindly. I will write it. It's fine. You were
Yeah.
implying it. You're trying to
Yeah.
say it without actually saying it. I will do
So
it. I'm joking.
yeah,
I'm joking.
yeah,
Go on.
yeah.
Go on. Go on.
As I was saying, I just want to make a like very great example which I immediately thought of. I was like, oh damn, sir, you're really good at this. So see, for Rajmouli, uh, most of the movie directed by Rajmouli is written by his father KV Vijayan Prasad. He has
Hmm.
he has not even tried to write a single movie, because he
True. True.
knows that writing is just not his forte. If there is a better
Hmm.
person who can pen down a great story, and he can
Hmm.
make that story larger than life, and this is exactly what Rajamouli does with Bahubali, Ega,
True.
and the
True. True.
upcoming movie RRR. I think Siddharth Anand should do the same. See, he's working with YRF. Yash Raj Films is
Hmm.
literally the biggest production house. If they want, they
Yeah.
can immediately get so many qualified writers. So I guess,
Hmm.
and one thing I want to talk about is like the major problem with War I had now is not the scale of the action set pieces, but the way that was put in. See, for Bang
Yeah.
Bang, it was like the surrounding which they were shooting, and the action set pieces were made interesting regarding that surrounding only. That was such a, like the marketing of Bang Bang was done in such a way, that these are the action set pieces which people should wait for, and that actually happened. The F1 car was supposed to be the second time used in Bollywood industry. There was this the sequence which shot out the water sequence. That was the very first time it was happening in
Yeah,
our
but I
industry.
would I would argue like even in Bang Bang, like
Yeah,
you had that F1 car in that one scene, you had that water jet ski, whatever
yeah,
it's called, in
yeah.
that other scene. Even
Surfboard.
like
Yeah.
for me, like this is a personal opinion. I was seeing those scenes and I was like,
Hmm.
this looks cool, but
Yeah.
I feel like he has not really gelled it with the narrative of the
Hmm.
film to make it actually good. And I think that critique sort of carries on to War, as you said. Like even in
Yeah.
War, you have this big gigantic action scenes, and it doesn't really translate well in a narrative style.
I would like if I were to choose now, I would choose 3-4 grounded action sequences and one very over the top climax.
Hmm.
Over the top, not like over the top, but like
I
a
think
large scale climax.
over the top in the sense of that Fallout's last helicopter scene.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of like where there are CGI elements in that, when the helicopter crashes and everything, but the excitement is there. Yeah, the excitement should be there. It should not be just
Yeah,
like this plastic CGI thing.
yeah.
That's what I
See,
think War lacks. Like a
yeah,
war feels very plasticky in the action scenes.
true,
It doesn't
true.
feel real. You need to
Yeah,
feel the action. You need to feel the intensity. You need to feel the excitement. Even if it's a
yeah,
big CGI fight scene, if the
yeah,
excitement is flowing through the audience, it works. Which I
yeah.
think War lacks.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to hit there, like like we are comparing it so many times to Mission Impossible, but really, guys, it's not a comparison. It's just we want to take things like
Yeah,
we
I
we
think Bollywood is definitely in a place where you can sort of take on the Hollywood films. Like you can
exactly.
actually take them on.
Yeah, because like I want to talk about Mission Impossible 5. So in that, the bike action chase was insane. I was
Hmm.
literally edge of the seat because the
True,
the
true,
way it
true.
was shot, and Tom Cruising. I just said Tom Cruising.
Tom cruising through those streets in his bike.
Yeah, exactly. That was so very well shot, and I
Hmm.
would really
I think
love to have more. Yeah, exactly.
Even in
Yeah,
Fallout, those scenes were very well
yeah,
shot. So
yeah.
that's definitely
And
true. Yeah.
that's what our industry lacks to make an actual great action movie, and that has nothing to do with the budget or the scale of it.
I would say Bhavesh Joshi did an amazing bike chase scene in a very small scale, and it really worked. And that's a very underrated movie. People don't really talk about it that much, but they really did a great job in a very limited budget. So there are Indian examples as well. I think we are in a consensus this time that this movie is just so
Yeah,
average that it's
yeah,
fun. It's fun. It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
It's fun. That's our consensus for this one. So it
yeah,
doesn't really qualify for the series, but we thought we'll talk about it since it's 1 year of war. We'll
yeah.
probably do Tatsu in the Sun later this month.
Oh, Diwali is
Jay,
coming.
oh yeah, Diwali is coming, so we'll have some foreigners speaking in Hindi for the next one.
I again got that reference. Oh my god, there are so many references which you're putting, man.
So
Yeah,
with that, we have come to the end of this video.
yeah,
If you do enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button and do subscribe to the channel. Do subscribe.
yes.
You have nothing to lose. Just subscribe. Make us happy for once. We
Yeah,
lead very depressing lives. So we just
yeah.
talked for like 20 minutes about a film that we thought was average. How depressing our lives are. So do hit that like button, do hit that subscribe button. We do have lots of videos like this at the channel, so do check them all out. We do have a few episodes of this series as well. We did one on Saho, we did one on Doom 3. So if you're interested in this kind of commentary, do check out those movies. And we also do a podcast every Sunday morning. So it's usually a roundup on the weekly topics, and we sort of make a topic up on the spot sometimes, which we'll probably do this week because we have no idea what to talk about. But anyway, like if you want to check out our podcast, that's also there in the channel, and the links would be in the description. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. Do have a great weekend.